what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Sunset 17th Studio, a little road game for the Missin Curfew crew here. Let's not forget, though, this show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Obes, the Updog, and our boy Swishy Swish. Fellas, how we doing? Little road game for the boys. Updog, Wild Goose, right there. Swishy, we've been drunk many a days right in there.
Yeah, we're here on a Tuesday, but that's usually our Saturday afternoon, Saturday football turned into Sunday afternoon. We've done, I don't know how many championship weekends in there, Obes, like a bunch. It's kind of our, we locked down that nice little table back there. Shout out to our friend Andrew Gabriel, who runs that spot. I saw him yesterday at Big Canyon, and I told him, I'm like, buddy, these hockey games are on early at the Olympics, and we need a spot to maybe, watch the semis and the finals. And he said, absolutely, let's take it down. So we'll be back there, but it's nice to be in a nice little studio like this. Thanks for setting it up, KC. Ice pick. Appreciate it.
Swishy, I would say I was at this particular moment as we break it down here on a Tuesday on the road here. I was more excited for the Four Nations than I am the Olympics, but I'm not going like you. If we were going and I was actually going to go over to Italy, I might be more fired up. But right now I guess it's the calm before the storm, fella.
Yeah, I always think too, it just has a different vibe when you can actually feel the electricity vibrating through the North American continent, where you actually feel it, and the guys are, the regular slate of games, the schedule is more on par with your work schedule. You don't have to get drunk at noon on a Tuesday. I'm with you there, but I will say I think that's going to flip for me when I get over there and I actually see it and sniff it and feel it.
Yeah.
These guys seem fired up. I mean, MacKinnon is already locked in. He said he's not going to be doing anything. He's not going to be checking out any restaurants. He's just basically Normatex into the rink and back. So these guys are as dialed in as ever. I can't wait to get there. I love that the teams are staying in the Olympic Village. Sounds like USA is going to be there for the whole entire tournament, which is crazy to me. Like, once you make the quarterfinal, like, don't you slide over to the Mandarin or their Armani Hotel? Like, stay in there for 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that plays for USA, but I'm fired up to get over there, boys. It's going to be pretty sick.
Soft mattress. Maybe it was a soft mattress. Yeah. Or the game to have in my bedroom or the midnight art show. I don't know.
That Armani Hotel, though, I've seen a little action in there, boys. That place is your head's up in there.
Yeah.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, this might be a stupid question. It probably is. You watch the Olympics. There's no advertising at all, right, on like the actual events.
Oh, like they
like all that shit
on the board,
Cortino.
Yeah.
So they straight up make their dough just on TV rights, and then commercials.
I would say it's tickets. I would say, they have main sponsors from NBC that probably spend a lot. So NBC probably cuts them a huge check.
Yeah.
And then all the brands that NBC promotes, write them the check.
Yeah.
But as far as like on the boards to your
point, like I'm saying, like how much money could they make if you're watching, the crazy bastards doing the luge and it says like
Brazzers,
Missin Curfew right there on the tight turn. Like it's just like, I guess they make enough money through TV and commercials and that they don't even need to put anything on the. I just said it was kind of refreshing, I guess, is where I'm going. When you're watching it, there's no ads. It's like, wow, these guys are getting that much dough from NBC.
Yeah, well, and then you think of like all the streaming services. Like I don't have Peacock, and Peacock is the channel right now that you can watch all the events like super live, other than just NBC's like live feed, which I think is a joke. Like I have all these streaming services. I don't want the Peacock. I get enough of that when Richie's walking around and this good hair, just peacocking.
Who's peacocking at the Waste Management?
So I'm like, I don't know. I guess they might be writing big checks. So to be a sponsor of that via NBC, you have to.
Big checks.
Big check.
And the big thing, too, there is they don't have to pay the competitors, right? Like you get basically, what do you get for winning a gold, depending on your country? The country, too. So it's not like as a whole, the Olympics is slash out a ton of cash, right? Like you might get a tug for your gold medal. That's about it. So I think that's a big thing. Yeah, you get it's the full body release. But I just think that's a big thing, too, is you're not paying these guys or these women anything for winning. It's based on per country what you get. So that's another thing where you can kind of get away with some expenses.
who has to pay to like build everything? Is it the IOC or Italy?
A bunch of money. The cities get a bunch of money to do it.
To build it.
Like once
So
you
the
get
IOC,
Olympics-
is the IOC paying to build the bobsled track and the hockey rink and
Ice pick, pull it up. How much money does like Milan Olympics get from the Olympic Committee to host an event?
I'm asking more who pays for it. Is it the IOC or
As you probably say.
yeah?
But yeah, I think once you get a host city and it's like you win that auction or whatever they do, like they break it down. Once you get that, it's full go, because your city blasts off for 3 weeks. It's on a fucking rocket ship. Every business is busy. Everyone's renting their house for 10x what it'd be worth to rent it. So you said they're getting about $900 million from privately from the IOC, and then they're getting they're investing at $1.8 billion into the US for 2032.
So you answered my question. IOC is cutting it right in the check. They're the ones paying for this fiasco. So
Yeah.
that's how much they're getting on TV rights. And then the commercials, right? Like Visa is a proud sponsor of Team USA. There's a little ad read for it. They're paying big dollars.
Yeah. Team Canada's like Tim Hortons, right?
Yeah. Tim Hortons,
Big one.
Sportsnet, Rogers.
Lululemon. Shout out to Michelle Davies. The outfits are looking sharp. I thought they looked sharp coming off the bird.
I gotta be honest. I think Team USA swag's better than ours.
Who's doing their swag?
Polo.
Jack Hughes is a polo. He's one of their ambassadors.
Hey, you're an association guy. Remember Barcelona '92 when MJ, the winning tracksuits were the Reeboks? And the big thing was like, is Jordan going to wear this fucking Reebok tracksuit? He's like drinking his coffee. And he's like reading the paper. He's like, yeah, this fucker from Reebok thinks I'm going to wear that. I got some for him. And he comes out with the American flag draped over the Reebok.
Oh, wow.
So you can't see it. I'm like, MJ, Swishy. I'm like, this guy knows what's up.
Yeah, but I mean that's bit. You got to know your brand, baby, right? Who's paying you? Who's cut the checks? Who you got equity with? That's the name of the game. I don't know with McDavid though, for sure. I mean, I saw him wearing the Lululemon tracksuits. The U.S. swag though, fellas, like that Black Label Ralph Lauren stuff they have on. I was just cruising on the website of Polo the other day. Like the stuff they're wearing, that's not exactly off the rack. Those sweaters are going for $600-700. Those things they got some thread counts in those things, Obi.
Yeah, I saw Chucky, both Chucks, Hellebuck, and someone else with like the toque, the jacket.
Yeah, that's proper.
I was like, fuck, these guys look unbelievable.
Polo is, I just got a pair of these polo little baggy pants. Classy though, like corduroys, and they're great. Like that's a nice, comfy pant, not too expensive, but just sharp.
Yeah.
Been around forever. Force jumpers, eh?
If we're talking unis too, of course, jumper bet. Yeah. If we're talking unis too, I remember when Team Canada's uniform came out and I gave him a hard time about the black tarp.
But now
we're wearing black buckets. That's why. So you only wear one bucket, right? Every team's wearing black. Like we're wearing black. States is wearing blue.
Okay.
Swiss are wearing white.
That's good insight.
Swedes are wearing blue. Czechs are wearing red. I don't even know who else in the tournament.
I do think Bauer crushed the jerseys for Team Canada.
Yeah.
They're great. Their website too has all the stuff up there. What's probably sold out now, but for Christmas, it fired in a couple orders. It's, the jerseys look good. I'm glad that the jerseys were taken over by a real hockey company.
Yeah. Good preparation because I did try to jump on Lululemon and just order a Team Canada beanie toque. Gone. Sold out.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I can get you one.
Boys, let's stick there with obviously the Winter Games started, I believe, last Friday was the opening ceremonies. Didn't catch much of that because I was absolutely pinned coming back from the desert. I had my first cocktail about 10 a.m., 9:30. But the stuff I saw looked great. We're underway here. Updog, I guess I'll start with you. Have you been watching? What have you been watching? Do you have Olympic fever, I guess is what I'm asking.
You know what? I do. And a little bit of heartbreak off the top. My boy, Mark McMorris, he got injured last week in kind of the pre-qualifier, pre-runs for the Big Air. It was sad because I reached out to him before the event and he was actually going to come on. I asked him, kindly, hey, after everything's done and you fucking go out there and compete and win, you mind, buzzing in? And he said, absolutely, I'd love to. It's going to be a wild week and this and that. So when he fell and missed his Big Air competition, it was pretty sad, but I did see him out there doing some nice S-turns and stuff on the hill, and he's going to be ready for, I believe they call it slope style or whatever what's that one race, Schmaltzy, where they do like the
pipe?
No, they do the rail, and then they do 3 jumps, and then they jump and do like some, it's kind of slope style, I think. Yeah, so I'm pulling for him, boys. I'm putting a little dough on him to win still. I've been following a little bit of skiing. my daughter, Izzy, is into this figure skating now. She said, Dad, can you figure skate? I said, absolutely not. There's no chance I could put those wheels on and do those triple axles, although I could do a few headstands in my day. But, we've been watching a little bit of that. Last night, I watched the women's big air, which was sick. These girls are badass doing snowboard big air. Absolutely crazy when, you retire from hockey and you start to ski, and then you see snowboarders come by and take those big ass jumps. It just puts it all in a perspective of how sick they are. But other than that, I'm waiting for hockey, fellas. I'm waiting for the hockey. I'm going to really dive in once puck drop comes here tomorrow and Thursday.
Oh, yeah. What happened to old Marky McMorris? Did he fall on his head? Did he hit his chin? Like, what was it?
Yeah,
Did his chin?
From what I saw and read, he fell back on his head. So, and he is a little stung. He was a little stung, but listen, doctor, came in, said you might have to sit the next one off, but if you pass the concussion protocol, you'll be out there competing. These guys work so hard, 4 years. He's just raced one.
No, he's got a few more events coming up here. So he missed the big air.
Yeah.
Then he's got the half pipe freestyle.
Okay.
And I don't know if he does the parallel giant slalom or not. I don't know.
No, I don't.
But then the slope style freestyle, is that what you were talking about?
That's what he just won in Aspen at the X Games.
And then
won that one.
The snowboard cross something.
The slope style is his bread and butter. Like he could win gold for sure in that one, 100%. As long as he gets his chin straightened out. But how about Lindsey Vonn, fellas? I mean, that was tough to watch her go down. You just hate to see her airlifted like that, especially gutting it out, on one leg. But I haven't been tuning in a ton because obviously I had that wasted management this weekend in Scottsdale. That's just, right off. And then we had the Super Bowl. So I'm going to start getting dialed in. I'm going to do my pre-scout here going into Milan. But we know the real event is hockey. So I can't wait to see that.
Just back to McMorris 1 sec, boys. He's won bronze in 14, 18, and 22 for slope style. And then he's also a 3-time Olympic medalist in big air as well, earning medals in those in X Games. So those two events fucking are bread and butter. Bread and butter.
I hope he gets in there and can compete. Like Updog said, it's crazy that these guys train for just every 4 years. But back to Lindsey Vonn. So when I saw that happen, I just assumed it was her ACL. It wasn't. She just took the fucking, took the turned a little tight and got snagged. Just being a little aggressive, old Lindsey was there.
Aggressive, and I think it's
Just like she is in the bedroom, probably.
Ask PK.
Just aggressive.
I would say, for me, that is just, she was probably thinking about her knee. Yeah, she's taken turns like that around those posts fucking a million points, or a million times, and she just got a little horned up.
Yeah.
It happens. I've been there.
Tough spill. She's a tough girl. I'll tell you what, in all seriousness, I have nothing but respect for Lindsey Vonn and how tough she is, man. And her post she put on an X was how she wouldn't have changed a thing, and all life's about challenges. I'm like, wow, this girl's just a gamer, man. That's the one word I would use for Lindsey Vonn, gamer.
On and off the slopes, I would say. But for her, it didn't even look that great when she was getting airlifted either. I mean, it was almost like the scene out of The Guardian when they pull Ashton Kutcher out of the water, but they were pulling her off the hill. Like, it was just like propelling on her. They had the chopper out there. Like, it didn't look like it was that comfortable of a process to pull her off the hill, but hopefully she's all right. I don't know if it was a fib or a femur, but she broke her leg. So hopefully Vonner's all right. Gut it out. But I'm excited, boys. I'm excited to see the co-ed pairing figure skating just straight out of Blades of Glory. Like, I can't wait I'm going to go to that. I think it's on Friday when I get in there. So I'm going to go check that out. I might even put on my own costume and just go in there, wig on, and just rock out. Like, that's going to be incredible.
Chaz Michaels, one of the best characters, one of the most underrated characters ever.
An ice-devouring sex tornado bound from the hell streets of Motown.
Hey, so I was watching
figure skating.
I was watching that yesterday, the pairs, right? Like the pairs out there throwing, you grab that girl that weighs about 85 pounds and you just launch her up in the air to do quadruples. Hey, Schmaltzy, if you're there, you have to get as close to that little, like, when they give you your score, you're in that booth. If you've seen like Team Asia or not Team Asia, if you see Team Japan in there, how they wait for their score as a team, there's probably like 15 of them in there and they all huddle around and they're waiting. It looks like it's out of a movie. It actually looks like it is Blades of Glory. Because I'm like, am I watching a commercial right now with Izzy? I was like, they just all, as soon as the score comes out, they all just clap and they're just so happy. And I'm like, fuck, this is this full on comedy. This is a movie.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious, and I just envision what that Blades of Glory looks like. These people out there with their costumes on. I mean,
Thanks,
Blades of Glory, Obi. Just going back to one of the best quotes of all time is "Troubled childhood." You can say that. You call a 90-year-old kid with a 35-year-old girlfriend supple.
So good. Then when he's in his change room with the two girls, his girlfriend comes in, he comes running out. He's like, Ben, she didn't mean anything to me. She didn't mean anything to me. I promise. I'm sorry. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that whole event, just because I love that movie so much, will be pure comedy. And like Updog said, to just kind of tie it together, is they wait there so excited for their score, and then when they overachieve, they're so happy, they're all yelling, and you get all these girls from Japan like celebrating and going crazy, and then obviously they're crushed if the scores come back not so high. So it's pretty funny, and I can't wait to be there. I'm going to pregame the shit out of that.
Could there be more manipulation in a score in any event in the world than figure skating? Like, you watch skateboarding or whatever, but there has to be some politics to like the figure skating score,
There's
right?
a lot of foot traffic around here, eh?
Of what?
A lot of foot traffic.
Yeah, a lot of foot traffic.
A lot of foot traffic.
Is there any babes or
No.
no babes? All guys.
There's a lot of foot traffic around.
A lot of dudes going into the Wild Goose today, Schmaltzy. A lot of dudes. But you think like, who are these people, from the IHF or whatever? IOC. Thanks.
No problem.
Who give the ratings? Like, is there any under the table stuff going on? Because that could just be manipulated, I think, to the max.
I mean, it's just like gymnastics, right? It's the same where it just depends on, because there's so many different things that come into play, your tricks with the different height, how you landed it, were you chin over shin? Did you, really sell your landing? There's so much different stuff. Were you elegant up there? Are you hot? Like that all comes into play for sure. You're only human and as a judge.
Is your tune the right tune? Like you got to have the right song. Yeah, I like it.
You guys are really breaking down.
Is your hat
here, right? You guys are really breaking down.
You got nice legs. Like, how's your hair look? Are you sweating out there?
I skate to one song and one song only.
It gets the people going.
It's like fun.
It's like prerogative.
It's like TMZ on ice. A lot of scandals.
I got to be honest, boys. I don't have the same passion for figure skating that you guys have. I've tried to watch that. I can't get into it. However, I have got into the ski jumping the other night where they just come off like that. Right? You used to do it on the plane, taking off. Remember? That?
A lot of scandals in that too.
I thought that was great.
A lot of scandals in that. The cocks, they're making the cocks bigger. They're injecting the cocks. It's a thing. And the guys with the big wrench, but the guys with the big wrenches are getting extra air.
Starting to worry about you, bro. You're talking about figure skating and big wrenches, bro. Starting to get a little concerned.
This is what's in the news. My feed is all big wrenches and figure skaters now. What's happening to my algorithm, Schmaltzy? Fuck.
And
sorry to cut you off.
Oh, that's fine. And then just the last one for me, I got into, and there's more to come, I think, of it, is the speed skating, right? You were talking about the Team Canada boys. Good to see him. I was wondering what event that was at, and you said it was a speed skating where there's some tough spills.
It was a short track race where there's 12 guys out there.
Yeah.
Hustling.
Where I wanted to talk to you boys, have you seen these wheels that they're wearing in speed skating? How low? Like, these are like fucking Jordan 1s, and the blade is like this long. Like, have you seen has either one of you put on a pair of, I don't even think I could put them on, Swishy. They look like low riders.
Yeah, shout out to the Wisconsin AAA, Pee Wee AAA team. Obi, we used to skate. We used to play at the Pettit National Ice Center. And Updog might know the name of this place because it was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they had the oval around two rinks, Obs, back in the day. So after practice would end, we would throw those jets on and go skate. It's harder than you think, by the way. It's no joke. It's like you're skating on butter knives. You got to have a certain technique to it. And honestly, that boot ain't perfect. It's like throwing on a Converse boot, at least what I remember. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It looks like an Asian, like a Japanese, like sorcerer sword on a little fucking tap shoe.
What's the protocol? Can I bring out the thick white and just tape my ankles before I go out there, or is that against the IOC speed skating rules? Like, could you go Duncan Keith style and just get the fucking white tape around?
You don't
there?
want loosey fucking goosey ankles in that sport.
Man, you can see they're wearing like ankle socks out there with those wheels on and just buzzing around. I'm like, this is insane to me.
How was your crossover game in a bag skate, Obi? That would determine how well you could figure skate. It's all that good, especially the oval, not the short track, but the oval is all about the crossover. Yeah.
Oh, I was watching the 5,000 meter, and it just reminded me of John Tortorella's fucking training camp where you got to do 16 laps 3 times where you're just fucking dying. I'm like, so these guys basically signed up to do this to try to win a medal, and they were just striding it out. But I've been pretty impressed with that, and I'm glad you guys have tried them on, because when I'm watching them, I'm just like, and obviously I was watching Jake Paul's girl the other night when
how about that? We're a lie.
That's as good as it gets for dumpers. That's as good.
How happy would you be to see your girl win an Olympic gold, like in any sport?
I'd rather win one myself, but
but like, next best would be probably your brother, family, but your daughter. But to see your girl out there looking like that in that outfit, yeah,
he was really emotional.
The fast shades on too. I mean, listen, you got to love your gal, but Obes, I don't know, and I'm not trying to sound like a hardo. I don't know if I'm crying though. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's bringing me to tears. I would be happy. I would be. Let's go get some penne vodka after this, have some wine, and let's get to the sack. But I don't know if I'm crying. That's just me.
You know what though? There'd be a tear. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Is because you see this girl, you give up all the things she's, like all the parties Jake Paul's been going to, and all the things that she probably says, like, I got to go home early. I'm training. I'm working all this hard, and to see, all the work go in, and then the result, you have to shed a little emotion. I mean, I cry at sad movies, but this is now I'm talking about wrenches, figure skating, and crying. So what's going on?
It's emotional.
Is you'd just be like, wow, that girl put in all this effort and she just fucking won. I don't know. There'd be a tear, but I think.
Are you asking me if I would bawl my eyes out and hug my girlfriend's parents? The answer is fuck no. I thought it was embarrassing. I'm like, easy, Jake. Like, what is this? Is this for clicks? Like, now, after we go down below, when she undid the little after, I was like, holy jeez. But maybe underneath after, when I see her with the gold medal and I'm like, give her a hug and a I I'm a crier too. Like, I was crying at the Stanley Cup. I was crying at the fucking Four Nations. But would I bawl my eyes out and hug her parents? I'd like to think not, Swishy. I would hope not anyways, fella. I would hope not.
Everyone expresses their emotions in different ways. Doesn't mean we're more or less happy for you or not, right? But that was cool seeing her winning.
Let's not blame him too much. He could still be concussed from Anthony Joshua too, right? His marbles probably all aren't dead.
He's crying because his jaw's still sore.
Like, wow, my girl, I love her. But yeah, boys, Swishy, get over there, enjoy it. Last but not least, our little intro here, boys. Super Bowl updog, congratulations. Good bet, my man. Couple things. Thought it was an awful game, mainly because I had my, Pat's future and going in, I really didn't think there was much of a chance, and there wasn't, but just not a very good ball game. Missed all the commercials because I was getting pinned with the updog and Joe D and Burke and Stu. Didn't even watch the halftime show. One thing I did realize watching that game though, is like in the second half is Josh Allen out here in Dana Point just being like, man, I wish I was playing that game, because it wouldn't have been 9-0 at half. I can tell you that. So congrats to the Seahawks. They're the best team all year, but to me, just a stinker.
Yeah, the game to me was played to not lose, and that's tough to watch when you're a fan. Like, yes, we love defense, but when you have quarterbacks that were basically told by their coaches and their offensive coach to not make, don't fuck this up. Shoot off the glass and out.
Fuck.
Was tough to watch. But in any game, playoff game, like, turnovers are gold, and Seattle's defense stepped up early. Derek Hall strip sack, boom, turnover. That led to points. Witherspoon's forced turnover, I think, in the third quarter, like coming out of the gate. I was thinking Drake May is going to go in the locker room. He's going to warm up that shoulder, and he's going to come out slinging. 3 and out to start the third quarter. They were behind the whole game. It was one of those. But my best bet was my Kenneth Walker MVP bet, which right down to the bitter end, they had the last touchdown called back for an offensive hold, which I actually got pretty upset. I was like, because that solidified it, but they still gave it to him. I think he was a beast. He basically won the last 2 games. If you look at the Rams and then you look at the Super Bowl, he ran it down their throat.
You were talking a lot of like conspiracy about Vegas, and that holding penalty has Vegas written all over it because the overhits.
The overhits.
It's that goes the overhits. So that might have been a fucking phantom call where they're like, whoa, here. Yeah. Let's get, because typically the average better, and I just, from what I've been hearing and reading and listening to McAfee and the boys, I guess a lot of people take the over.
Yeah. I will say another conspiracy on this was Sam Darnold had over 5.5 yards to, hit his over. He was at 10. He was at 10 or 11 yards. Like, he ran this one, he got it. Everyone and their mother, I think Loop will text me early, like, what a bet this is. This is easy. No questions asked. Late in the fourth quarter, all he has to do when they have the ball is just hand it off to the running back, which you do a million times. He fake hands it off to the running back, turns around, and then just falls and has a loss of 7 yards to put him under his posted total. And it was like blatant. Like, why would he never did that all season? Why would he do it now? It's almost like, hey, you're going to go back and you're going to fake it and go down.
Have
the under.
Had the
under. No one.
Had the under, Swishy.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was just trying to think. Like, after that game ended, I mean, it was one of the most least exciting, the whole thing was exhilarating games we've seen in a while. I mean, I can't even really date back to it. I mean, Patriots 13-3 versus the Rams in 2018 wasn't perfect. And then you had maybe Seattle versus Denver in 2014 where that game was a blowout. I think it was 44-8. But in the last 25 years, I mean, man, that game, I think, for me was bad.
Last year's the Eagles fucking won the game by the halftime. It was over, and it was like Mahomes couldn't do anything.
But, I mean, this game, like Drake May didn't even come out and sling it, man. It was check down city.
He better have been hurt. Fuck. He better have been
I think
hurt.
his shoulder, his wing was in one bad.
Swish, you mentioned that 13-3 Pats over the Rams game. I came back from a 3-day runner with the big guy at the Wasted Management, and I didn't see a lick of that game. I got on my couch, and I woke up at the end. I'm like, 13-3. That was a good one to snooze through there, but I was just stung, as you would say, coming off the old Wasted Management.
Yeah, I know, and even like the Patriots had that one drive where they scored on, and they get the ball back, and Drake May, he throws it downfield, but he throws into triple coverage again. Like I don't know. Maybe it was just Seattle was a team of destiny, but it's tough watching quarterbacks struggle, especially in the biggest game of the year. I mean, at least when you have some guys that are slinging, there's some excitement, depending on what the score is. But there was nothing that whole game. It was a burger.
Yeah, and I love Mike Vrabel and obviously Josh McDaniels. They both won. Vrabel was coach of the year. McDaniels was assistant coach of the year. I thought McDaniels in the second half would have drew up some different plays for him and tried to help him out a bit. I mean, they kept doing the fucking same thing over and over again. It felt like I was like, dude, dig into that playbook, buddy. Like you're supposed to be an offensive guru here. You're hanging your second-year quarterback out to dry. The Seahawks were just coming full bore. It's like, and Will Campbell, I mean, the rookie fucking guard was awful. I mean, he got beat so bad. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't move the running back over and help him out a little bit with a little chip block or something. It was just, they were just getting abused.
Yeah, I mean, he got beat like a rented mule, right? It was just, it was crazy. But I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to think. Like, I think a lot of people, especially New England, think this is a time where New England's going to be back. They're going to go on runs, and I'll be interested to see, Obi, next year if they can put together a run like this, or they kind of fall off because, people talked about the easy schedule. And then you got other teams coming out of the AFC. Joe Burrow's going to be back. Joshy Allen, the pride of Chippewa, is going to be hunting chins. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are, Milan Nixon and getting better. Lamar, big trust. So We'll see. They got their hands cut out for them in New England. I don't know. I don't know if they'll be back.
Yeah. Super Bowl's in LA next year, by the way, boys. Last little thing here before we go to break. This may be stupid, but like, should the Super Bowl be on Saturday? Maybe. Like, does it have to be on a Sunday? Like, do you think it could be better if it was on a Saturday
for the parties?
For just everything. It's just Saturday night, fucking whatever, 6:00 Eastern Super Bowl. Let's go. And then everyone just has Sunday to recover. A lot of people miss work on Monday, I'm assuming. I know I didn't do a whole fucking lot.
Anyone going to the game for sure.
Yeah.
Unless you're on your P.
Did you see the private birds coming out of there after that game?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I saw a thing on social media. It was just like,
they probably left after halftime. By the way, the fireworks and shit though looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
The flyover with the planes before the game looked epic. There was a lot of things that the NFL did right, but one thing they fucked up royally was the halftime show, and that might have caused bad juju all over the planet. But Bad Bunny, terrible show. The people standing there looking like trees, terrible. That was just awful. All in all, awful.
All around tough Super Bowl. Except for Updog won his bet. Good job. Shout out to our boy Burke, had us over. Great spread.
Great spread.
We had burgers, dogs. I brought some Prince Street pizza. Shout out to Jack Eichel and our boy Lawrence Longo. You ever had Prince pizzas, Swishy?
Yeah, now they're expanding all over the place, but I've been to the original New York City. Love it. Yeah, they got a great good pie. Yeah, good pie. Square pie. Great pie.
Square pie. Square pie. New York style. Yeah, it's not.
Some are square, but not.
Oh, you can get a little jazz. You know, they're
the New Yorks they have are the flat one that anyway we ordered those.
Yeah.
Whew, tasty.
Thank God NFL is over. I took it on the chin. We'll be right back at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Pick six, fellas. DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Choose more or less on two or more player stats. The more accurate your picks, the bigger the payout, fellas. Listen, you two beauties. I got to give you some credit. We snapped it around for, me and I've been doing this for whatever, 4 or 5 years. Up Swishies 2 years. I asked you heads or tails, and you both simply said heads. Next question. So I thought, well, there's my two teammates, my two boys, basically saying, "Obs, like serious questions only here, fella." So thank you. I won the coin toss because of the boys. So thanks, Swish. Appreciate that, fella. Only thing I won.
That was the only thing I won as well. And I struck out on the color of the Gatorade. They went lemon lime. They actually showed it early, which was crazy. I've never seen that done before. So that was another thing that kind of came out. But
can I jump in? I just want to tell you, I love what the coach did, McDonald. Like, some coaches run from the Gatorade. He fucking took it. That's what I always said. If I was a coach and I won, I would turn to my boys and be like, fucking dump it on me, boys. And he did that. So sorry to jump in there. I just wanted to tag that real quick. I appreciate McDonald for just being like, fucking rights, boys. We just got her done.
Hell yeah, you got to do that for sure. I like the lime green vintage, but yeah, Obi, that was the only bet I hit too was the coin toss, and I always say tails never fails, but it's always heads. It always is.
Yeah, you boys were like, shut up, all those heads. Next question. I'll tell you what though, we're talking pick six. I didn't go 6 for 6, but I went 5 for 6, which got me 2.6 times my dough. So I basically got I was $50. I got back $131. I will take that. However, boys, if you looked at my pick six and didn't watch the game, you may think it's a different turnout. Like I had Sam Darnold under 231 and a hook passing yards. That went under. I did have Cooper Kupp over. That hit. I had Drake May over rushing yards. That hit. JSN under receiving yards. That hit. Stevenson anytime touchdown. That hit. And you know who let me down, Swishy? Is our boy Stephon Diggs, who got caught cheating on Cardi B. He went under. If he would have hit, I would have been all right. But Stephon Diggs, I'm sure he had a few kills, but he got caught cheating on Cardi B. He let me down, and now I think he's got a court date like today or tomorrow or something. Like
he went over on bringing broads back to his room. That's what he went over on. Yeah.
He got over.
What was the over under on that, by the way? 1, 2. Well, he brought 3 back, and you got pinched. That's tricky.
He got pinched.
A guy with 6 baby mamas was cheating? There's no way.
Yeah, right?
Come on. We
didn't do it.
When you have 6 kids born within 6 months of each other, you ain't cheating on anybody anytime.
He's dumping lows. That's commitment, if anything.
Yeah, that is, right? He had a tough week, old Stephon Diggs there. And I've always liked him, but I can see maybe why Josh Allen said, time for him to leave Buffalo when he did. I don't know. I wonder if he's a good teammate or not is where I'm going with that, boys.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen could be the ultimate teammate. So if someone's getting out of Dodge because there's some, commotion in the ocean, I would side on the favor of our boy.
Yeah. Now saying that, Swishy, I would have liked to party with Stephon Diggs throughout Super Bowl week there. If I would have, got invited to one of his parties where I'm sure he didn't miss out throughout the week is what I'm saying. Well, clearly you didn't.
If there's one guy to recreate the Giants yacht party with jeans on and Timberlands, Stephon Diggs is your guy. So maybe we have to give him a call here as we get down the stretch, especially in Florida with some teams making the playoffs in the Sunshine State. Maybe we could recreate that photo with Stephon Diggs and, make you come to life, the hockey version, if you will.
Was that the one with OBJ too when they're on the boat with their jeans on or whatever?
Yeah. So
they didn't have jeans on, but
no, they had jeans on and they had Timberlands on and they had white beaters on and a bunch of hookers. And they were just on that boat. It was like 6 days before their playoff game. And then they got absolutely whacked. So they clinched the wild card, went to Miami the next day on a Sunday, threw down, got caught, came back and played the next Sunday and got whacked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad karma there. The football gods, as Barry Trotz calls them, the hockey gods. So pick six, get involved, boys. Over the Olympics, it's going to be a lot of fun. Moving on, boys. It is our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week, a.k.a. Dish of the First Half. Fellas, it's this easy. Go to kits.com, fire in the prescription, virtually try on any frame, Boom. Next thing you know, knock on your door, Kits Eyewear. Promo code Curfew gets you any pair of prescription glasses, your first pair, absolutely free. Boys, I know it's not officially the halfway point of the season. We're almost to the three-quarter point, but we've been doing these dishes all year, and obviously it's the best league in the world. Shout out to our boy Mark Prince in Medicine Hat, Alberta. I said, Princey, find me the best Kits Eyewear dish of the week. Roll it, fellas. 3-on-3 here in overtime, and our boy Marky, look at this play, comes out, Kits Eyewear on, sauces it, fucking goal line to blue line, boom, corn dogs, game over. That is our Kits Eyewear dish of the first half. What a sauce in OT. I forgot about that one. That was National League.
It was National League, and just, they needed that, actually, by the way. Marky's a big part of that squad. Fucking big, tall, Swedish assassin. Showing his soft mitts there. I always like the goalie boys that move the puck up. Took it easy on you, D-man. I mean, how much better do you guys look when your goalie steps up and makes plays like that?
I mean, when we traded for Mike Smith and he came to Tampa, I mean, almost sometimes I would be like, Smitty, like, let me touch it. Like, you're almost making me look bad here. You've had 10 straight breakout passes, backhand sauce. But to answer your question, when you have a goalie that can play the puck, Swishy, when it's dumped in, he comes out of your net, you just immediately go to your corner. Like, you don't even go to the puck. You just go right to your corner, both D, or maybe the 1D might wait to see what happens if it doesn't want to bounce in front of net. And then he just dissects. It's a game changer, and it's why I think Jordan Binnington is going to be the starting goalie. That and the way he played at the Four Nations. But the way Binner can move the puck, I think Coop goes with him off the get-go. But Swishy, what up? He's saying it's a game changer as a D-man when your goalie can play the bisky.
Yeah, I mean, when your goalie can go back into the trapezoid and you can just run pistons off the dots and you can just go to each of your corner and he can make the right read. That's a reason why Jordan Binnington, I think, separates himself from any goalie in this tournament, not only on Team Canada, but the rest of the field. I mean, he's so calm back there. And the one thing OB2 is he can make a middle pop play, which is, it sounds crazy to say, but he's got poise back there like a nun. He's a general. He has confidence. And when the puck is on a stick, I mean, he makes usually the right read. And look for that this tournament. Like he'll make like a couple middle slip plays they might look like high risk or people like, well, maybe a coach doesn't want that, but I have full trust in that guy making plays back there. And as you know, Obi, then you don't like the biggest part of the ice is when you're going to get tagged is when you're going into that trapezoid and the forechecker's coming from the other side and going to meet you on the other side of the net, little peekaboo play. But when you have a goalie that can play the puck, that doesn't happen.
Little Peekaboo used to be a strip club in Belleville. Peekaboo would say, hey, boys, you want to go to the boo for one? Let's slide down to the boo for one, fellas.
Peekaboo.
Draft beer night. Pitcher beer night. $2 down there at the old Peekaboo.
Good down there. Sandwich here.
I'll tell you what, it's safe to say that Bitter's got his Kits Eyewear in Milan because you're absolutely right about everything you said there. He can dissect it. He can break pressure. And we are going to talk about, we're going to do a little preview here in a little bit about Team Canada, Team USA, the whole tournament. And I got some thoughts on the back end. But that was our Kits Eyewear dish of the first half. Marky, way to sauce it, fella. Up dog, moving along here at Missin Curfew. Pristine Pilsner, fella. Get that guy a Labatt Blue.
These boys will be drinking these over in Milano, fellas. Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com.
We had a lot of Pristine Pilsners. I'll tell you what, Swishy, we had the Luxury Auto Collection Sprint Daddy locked and loaded with ice-cold Labatt Blues. Me and Updog cruising around, and it came out for halftime, had a couple beers. It was just, the blue lights were flowing for Super Bowl Sunday. The Pristine Pilsners, fella.
Unreal. I mean, the Sprinter van is, I mean, you guys brought that, I think. I like to give you credit for bringing that just sort of thing onto the hockey scene way back in the day when you moved out to Orange County.
I was all Updog.
It used to be limousine riding, high flying, and you guys took it to another level that people do all across sport or whatever the fuck they're doing now is the Sprinter van. What a play. And I just remember even last year when we were sitting outside that game after game 2 in LA, I believe it was, for the Stanley Cup playoffs versus Edmonton. I mean, we must have been in that parking lot in the Sprinter van for a good 2 hours after the game. It was unbelievable, setting the vibe in the parking lot. And I love you boys cruising around too on a Sunday, just hanging out. And then going back out there at halftime. You got the house, but fuck it. Let's go in the Sprinter van and hang out, watch some TV, get down. Unreal.
It was great. Like a lot of kids. They're beautiful kids. Everyone's kids are great kids. But I was like halftime. I'm like, up there let's go for ice cold Labatt Blue. And I gotta be honest, I had some whiskey in there too, a couple shots of that. Just a nice little place to kind of regroup at halftime. because I wasn't interested in the halftime show. But get this guy, Labatt Blue. Fellas, once again, Maya's kind of about the first 3/4 of the NHL season. Get this guy an ice cold Labatt Blue. Connor Bedard, pre-injury. Nobody, I don't know if nobody, but I tripped this kid a lot, right? Being the first overall pick and coming out of junior out of Regina. He was supposed to be the next Connor McDavid and MacKinnon. And honestly, boys, in the first 2 years, I didn't see it, right? And Richardson kept saying, oh, he's young, he's young, he's young. And I went, fuck young, he's first overall pick. Like, let's get her going. Well, whatever he did this offseason, the way he came into this year, Connor, you shoved it up my you-know-what. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. He would have made Team Canada, in my opinion, if he didn't get hurt. He has taken that next step. He is a superstar. Good days ahead for Chicago with cap space in him, but Updog and Swishy, Connor Bedard, get yourself a Labatt Blue. He is a superstar.
Yeah, and without that injury, fella, to jump on it is, he was right there. He was right there. Top 5 in scoring, impact player every night, skating better than he ever has, controlling the play in NHL games, which is what we all kind of didn't see the first, his first 2 seasons, but he put himself right there, well-deserving of a beer, well-deserving of even a spot on that Team Canada team, should they have taken, 15, 16 forwards. But he's right there, and it's a good sign for Team Canada and for the Hawks to finally get that kid, where he needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, he has a different attitude. He's found new life. He's playing nose over the puck. He's back checking. He's playing inside the dots. He's going to the net. He's in front of the net after the whistle, mixing it up. He's a way different player, and I think that attests to just what he did in the offseason with adding strength. Maybe he stayed off the ice a little bit more because he was skating like 8 times a week, and he added more emphasis into the gym, and that gave him confidence going onto the ice. I also think he has found a running mate there in Frank Nazar. Now, when you have a buddy to do it with, it's just way better. Now these guys can kind of have on and take on a new little attitude, on and off the ice, what they want to bring to the team. And that starts out obviously at the top too at Blash. But I just think those things were definitely a big impact on how this kid came back into the season. And you know what? Sadly, I kind of wish he was on the team, fellas. I mean, me too. I'm an honorary Canadian, but I wish he was on the big stage because I do think he could help that club out.
Yeah, me too. And I want to give him credit. Like, obviously it wasn't going well for him his first 2 years. And like, he could have been like, oh, listen, I'm the first overall pick. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. He obviously changed something, like you said, in the summertime. Came back with a different attitude. I give him all the props. And I'm starting to think he likes blue lights too. So good on you, Connor. Sticking with my kind of first 3/4 of the season. A team that absolutely surprised me, and sorry, is still surprising me, is right out here in our backyard. The Anaheim Ducks, Coach Q, get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella. You lose 8 or 9 straight. I got you dead in the water. Carlson goes down. Terry goes down. McTavish gets hurt. And what do you guys do? You win fucking 8 of 9 heading into the break, and you're sitting in wild card 2 right now while the boys are down in Cabo or Aspen or wherever they are. Coach Q, you're a beauty. Good on you. The Anaheim Ducks, boys, get yourself a ice-cold pristine Pilsner. I wouldn't have thought they'd be sitting where they are before the Olympic break or during the Olympic break.
And most of them are. I think 3 of them are up in Aspen having ice cold beers. So that's well deserved. But to your point, Obes, I watched a couple games live. I love their team. Fast, dynamic. They look like they're having fun out there. They sit around with each other and they drink Labatt Blue Lights, whether it's at Joey's or all the spots here with all the young ladies. They're doing the right stuff. It's a sign of a winning team. And when they're young like that and doing it together, it's the teams that I've been on that are the best, is those group of guys that do that. So
yeah, they got a good mixture of vets and young guys. Swishy. I mean, I'm not at the rink or anything. I haven't been to a game, but just kind of watching them play. That's a nice mixture that they've brought in there, and I got to give them credit. They made some adjustments, and they're a lot better defensively now than they were when they lost 8 or 9 straight.
Yeah, they have a lot of good pieces there. I mean, obviously, you were just at one of those guys' 1,000th game party, and Alex Killorn, who's won 2 mugs. But then you even have pieces that, like friend of the show, Ryan Strome, who's a good veteran, a level-headed character, and a guy that can really instill some wisdom on these young kids. Trouba has found new life there. He's having the most fun, he said, in a while playing hockey. So they do have a nice mix there in Anaheim, and obviously Coach Q is a big piece of that. And even, a coach like Jay Woodcroft, I call him Jay Wrenchcroft, but, he's been a head coach. he's been to the top in terms of playing deep into the playoffs and worked with the best players. So those guys like that, man, those are the intangible pieces for a winning organization, and they've done a good job there so far. Let's see if they can make a push coming off Olympic Bend.
Yeah, they were 8-2 in their last 10 heading into the break. I'll tell you what, they like the Honda Center too. 17-8-1 at home. Right now in the Wild West, boys, Wild Card 1, the Utah Mammoth, aka the hockey club, and Ducks like Rain, the Ducks. I mean, you could have made some money betting on that. So last one for me, get this guy, an ice cold Labatt Blue. My old junior coach, Dave Cameron, good Prince Edward Island boy. He just coached his 1,000th game in the Ontario Hockey League for the Ottawa 67s. Dave was huge for me. I got traded from an old school coach in Larry Maverty, who was a beauty. God rest his soul. He was a beauty. But I come into St. Mike's, and Dave kind of showed me how to be a pro, or what it was going to be like to be a pro, sorry. So Coach Cameron, good on you. And he had one of the best lines I've ever heard, boys. Shout out to my boy Craig Foster. The scale used to be right by the coach's office, right? And Fozzie would just go buck naked to weigh in. And he was kind of a skinny, fat guy that wasn't really, so coach always chirping about that. But one day he's like, "Hey, Fozzie." He's like, "What's up, coach? You know why you're on my fourth line?" He's like, "No, I don't know, coach." Why? He's like, "Because I don't have a fucking fifth." And I almost fucking fell into my stall right then and there. So Dave Cameron, Coach Cameron, buddy, you were good to me. Congrats, 1,000 games. Get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue.
Fellas, I'm gonna go get yourself a nice cold Labatt Blue to Macklin Celebrini, boys, who officially became the youngest player to ever play on the men's Canadian Olympic team at 19 years old. But not just because of the season he's put together. Everyone steps up their game in Olympic year. Every eyeball's on you. Every game means so much. Every play means so much. I don't think there's a player in the league that has meant more to their hockey team than Macklin Celebrini. So at 19, you're legal to have a beer in Canada. That's for sure, 19 and 18. But, and maybe in Milan.
Yeah,
make sure you're having...
You can drink when you're 16 in Italy. Get one in you, Celebrini.
Celebrini. Good on you, buddy. You're an absolute stud. Go over there for Team Canada. Mix it up. Have some fun. And bring home a goal. But, buddy, you deserve an ice cold Labatt Blue, fella.
Labatt Blue Light, the pride of Chippewa Street. I got to slide one to Charlie McAvoy, because not only did he take one on the chin before the game, before the break, he actually tweeted out the video and was basically calling out player safety, Georgie Peros, those guys over there. How was it no suspension? How was there no supplemental disciplinary actions towards that hit? He got tagged by number 95 on the Florida Panthers. I'm blanking on his name. He's a kid that's just played a Cup of Joe. But yeah, I love McAvoy standing up for himself, tweeting out a video and obviously a picture of his jaw. He got hit earlier in the season. He's had that bubble on for a while and then took one right on the chin again. So I love Charlie McAvoy. Sometimes you got to be your own agent, your own, press secretary, and throw that out there. So that tweet he threw out there got like 3 million views too. So he was putting the league on notice. I love that.
Wow, that's good.
Not many guys have challenged the
Chiefs.
Player safety, especially when it's you getting hit.
I would say this, though. If I'm Team Canada and I see he's got that fishbowl over there in Italy, I'd be like, "Hey, fellas, give him a little stinky glove every time you go by there. Hey, Willie Bennett." Listen, it was a tough couple days for old Chucky for him, McAvoy. The stadium game switchy where they took all the penalties. He took a couple of them. He was fucking so rattled after that game. Like, his press conference was crazy. And then 2 nights later, he goes down to South Florida Euro stomping ground. And I think it was the Latvian kid got him up high. So kind of a double dip for him where he was, pretty choked. Heading into the break, probably a good time to do a little parting shot to the player safety, right? You're heading over to the Olympics. But those games back to back for him, I can see why there was smoke coming out of his ears, sorry.
Yeah, he's an emotional guy, too. He plays on that line, right? He's dished out a few chicken wings back in his day, too, and he'll continue to do that because that's how he plays. But, yeah, I would, especially when you just broke your jaw earlier in the season and you have to wear one like that, and he was tucked. Like, he wasn't chin over shin. He actually was tucked, and that was a rare case where he still, got it labeled. So, if I were him, I would be pissed, too, and especially – those are two different players, right? A guy breaking into the league that gives you a dirty elbow versus a defenseman that's a number one defenseman, make a 9 and a hook, Olympic guy. Sometimes you got to put the league on notice, and I love that. And McAvoy speaking his mind, like that was the right time to do it too.
do you got to go full bubble? Can't you just go visor with us? You would say a chin guard here. Like, do you got to go full fishbowl here? Like, can you not go visor, chin guard and be all right?
So he's used to it. Yeah.
He's had it on for the whole fucking year.
American kids are used
He's
to
had it on for the whole year.
Yeah, but they're used to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of brings them back to their playing.
I'll tell you what, he's having a hell of a year, Swishy. I mean, him and Lindholm, they've been he's been unbelievable for the Bees.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got the perfect amount of criminal in his game and skill, and that's why he's going to be the lead horse there for the U.S. team, especially playing, against the likes of McDavid and MacKinnon. I mean, you guys remember last year at that Four Nations when we were sitting there just pinned. He put McDavid into the blender a couple times. That hit along the wall as McDavid was entering over the offensive zone blue line was a great hit, and then on the penalty kill, McAvoy hit him a few times, roughed him up right below the goal line, right behind the net there. So look for that. He's going to be bringing that edge, and especially to Canada's best players.
Yeah, 100%. Boys, well done, fellas. Get yourself an ice cold Labatt Blue. Always drink responsibly. Moving on here at Missin Curfew, it is the Luxury Auto Collection Dog of the Week / first half. Fellas, whether you want to pull up to the rink in style or roll the course of your boys in a National League Sprinter event, the fellas at Luxury Auto Collection have you covered. They don't just sell cars, they sell a lifestyle. Check them out online at luxuryautocollection.com. Promo code Curfew gets you free shipping. Boys, once again, kind of going with the first half, the first three quarters. Swishy just talked about McAvoy on the Bruins. My Luxury Auto Collection dogs of the first half are two guys. They both play in Boston. Tanner Jeannot and Gaslick. I should know his first name. What's his first name, Swishy?
Mark
Gaslick and Tanner Jeannot. Listen, boys, good on you. When Don Sweeney and Cam Neely signed Tanner Jeannot to the 4 years, 3, whatever it was, I thought good for Tanner Jeannot. Good on his agent. Pulled the wool over the eyes. They had an identity that they were trying to bring back to the Bruins, and they've brought it back. And these two guys, every time I watch the Beast play in the first half or first three quarters of the season, they are absolute dogs. They're hitting, they're fighting, they're forechecking, they're getting to the net. They're making other guys on their team feel bigger and stronger, which is the ultimate compliment. Good on these guys. I love watching them play up, dog. It brings a tear to my eye. You talk about crying after your girlfriend wins a gold medal. I bring a tear to my eye when these boys go out there and run around and fight and cross-check. And it's old school hockey, and the Bees are playing it to a T right now.
Yeah, I think they're a problem, and that's a good thing. We want your team to go out there, and if you don't have the best skilled team on the ice, Obes, and you got a good goalie and you're tough,
yeah,
fucking teams don't want to come in your building. That's a good way. So I mean, I love it. I love the way they play hockey. It's old school, fella.
Old Seabass, Cam Neely.
Yeah.
Swish.
Brought in the Bash brothers. Big Z is playing with different life.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a meeting with Chara before the season, but he's taken on a new life of his own. He's got this alter ego that, he's just really embodied what it means and embraced what it means to be a Bruin. So, yeah, there's a lot of people doubted them. And, Seabass and Sweeney, we've touched on it before. They took a lot of heat, but it's paying off right now. And they do have that culture back, and let's see what they can do, on the other side of this break here. It'll be interesting.
The one thing it really makes me happy about, and I hope it proves to other GMs and scouts and around the league, is if you don't have high-end talent, yeah, they've changed the rules a lot since we've all played, but this is still hockey. And if you can't fucking score with the best teams, and they've been scoring, Pasternak and Morgan Geekie, I mean, Geekie might get 50, but my point is you can still build a team around size and strength. And then the guys they have that aren't as big as them are playing bigger. And Arvidsson's playing great. And Iciest from Tampa. I mean, those old guys are all playing instead of being whatever, uppy 5'10", they're playing bigger. It gives me hope, boys, that there's still a blueprint in this game that we love, that if you want to fucking around, let's go. And the big bad Bees are doing that. So good to those two beauties. Any other dogs you want to throw out for the first half or anything like that, boys?
If I could just throw one dog, I would go nowhere else than Nathan MacKinnon right now, boys, who at this Olympic break, has 32 even strength goals, which is 9 more than anybody else. That just is beast mode to me. It's something that, the guy has such a great year last year. They stink it in the playoffs, but he comes back this year on a vengeance. Even strength goals to me could be the biggest, stat.
100%.
And it means you're just doing everything right. You're going to the net. You're fucking helping your teammates out, but you're getting dirty goals. You're not just sitting on the half wall. You're not just getting one-timers. You're just a beast every day. So for me, dog of the week, dog of the year coming at you is Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah, and especially before I turn it over to you, that's a great point by you, Updog. I used to, with some of our top end guys, if they're getting up their power play cookies, but at the odd time I'd be like, when's the last time you had a 5-on-5 fucking we need you to play 5-on-5 here. Like when we have one extra guy, I get it, you're moving around a little bit here, and as the season goes on and you get in these games that we're going to get to after the break, that's when 5-on-5 is important. So I appreciate that. Good call. Nate's been killing it. Swishy, you got a dog?
You know what? I'm going to give one to the pride of Tampa Bay. I know we talk about this guy a ton. He's a friend of the show. He's got the best outfit going to date this year. It's Al Pacino, a.k.a. John Cooper. I mean, if this guy continues to go at the rate he's going, he grabs the gold, he comes back, gets his team into a top spot in the playoffs. I mean, and he doesn't win a Jack Adams. I just want to make sure that the people that listen to this show, and if there's some league executives out there, anyone with a vote, just make sure you don't forget this guy's name on the ballot. He's never won a Jack Adams. He's been to 4 or 5 Stanley Cup finals. He's won 2. He's been to 4. Maybe just, think about that name when you're going into the voting process here, because he's done a hell of a job there. They've retooled on the fly. Every time Tampa Bay gets these guys coming up from the minors or through the trades, they play bigger, they play tougher, they get into the system, they play just with a different attitude. You see it with all these guys. J.J. Moser is doing it. Hagel did it when he came over from Chicago. The list goes on, but these guys, they come in with a different attitude. It all starts with Coop. So I'm just making sure people listening, they haven't forgotten about this guy. He's still here, as Tom Brady would say. I'm still here, baby.
Yeah, for obviously we're a little biased here. We love Coop, but he's the coach of the year, in my opinion, hands down. The injuries that they've had, they've had 12 guys play defense for him. Hedman's been out the entire year. McDonough, the Mac truck, I think they call him, he's been out. So good on Coop. I would love to just see Coop bouncing around that Olympic Village. Is there a bar there for him?
Yes, sir.
Is there a bar?
Wherever he goes will be the spot you want to be.
I guarantee you that beauty will find. If there's a couple little sports, if you're looking for Coop and you don't want to bug him, when you're over there, just find the 2 sports bars in Milan or whatever. I'm sure you'll be in there having a couple cold ones. So, boys, that was our Luxury Auto Collection dog of the first half. Moving on here at Missin Curfew is the Men's Olympic Hockey Preview presented by our good friends Updog at Eagle 4.
Brought to you by our friends at Eagle 4, fellas. We're going to talk about the Balboa Bay Club. You want to lounge by the water, enjoy waterside dining, and unwind in true Newport Beach style? Look no further than our friends here at Balboa Bay Club. Missin Curfew has you covered. Get 20% off at the Balboa Bay Resort with code CURFEW and book now at thebalboabayresort.com.
You know what? You talk about those early games, Swishy. I might watch a couple of them over there at A&O, the nice little bar there right at the Bay Club.
Well, how about the preview? We had a Super Bowl there.
Yeah.
The outdoor bar.
That's the old Hull bar there. That's a real nice place to catch a buzz.
Some talent there.
Real nice place to catch a buzz, boys. Here we go. Men's Olympic Hockey Preview presented by our friends at Eagle 4. Sorry, Swishy. I know you're a good American-born player, but we got you outnumbered here 2-1. We're going to start with Team Canada.
Let's go.
As Graves says, folks, we are the best. Listen, I know we won the Four Nations in an OT winner by McJesus there. Listen, our forwards are the best in the tournament, and this is no disrespect to Team USA or Sweden, but when you have Sidney Crosby as your third-line center, it's safe to say, in my opinion, that we have the best forward group by a lot, I believe. When I do look at our D, obviously we got Makar. When I look at the depth of our defense, that's one thing to me that could be maybe a little concerning, Updog. I love our top 4. Our bottom 4, we'll see how that plays out. But if we're nitpicking here and looking at Team Canada from a whole, that is a little bit of a concern for me. And then goaltending. I do think Binner's the guy. I will never doubt him again after what he did at the Four Nations. I know you love him. I know you love him. Enough said. I think Binner's our guy. But if you're looking at a whole of the whole tournament and you want to nitpick Team Canada, goaltending could end up maybe being a concern. But I think our forward group is so good and so deep, Updog, that we're going to be okay. And I do have one problem, Coop. Sorry, I love you. Bor Horvat, fourth-line center. Get him out of there. Sam Bennett should be our fourth-line center. I think as the tournament rolls on, Sam Bennett will be our fourth-line center. I guess you got to give Horvat a look. Other than that, I love Celebrini, McDavid, Wilson. Willie, good on you, buddy. Go to the fucking net and keep your stick on the ice. So listen, this is the other problem I got. I got a problem with Nick Suzuki on the second line there. I think you got to put Reinhardt up there. And then maybe you think about, and this is just my opinion, then you got Jarvis and Suzuki on the fourth line, Bo Horvat and Bennett on the, like, I want Horvat out, Bennett in, and then I probably want Suzuki and Jarvis kind of rotating on that fourth. I think Nick Suzuki's, that's too far up the lineup for him.
And I think you're going to see that third line of Stone, Crosby, and Marner be an absolute shutdown line. They're going to be...
That is the shutdown line.
They're going to make so many good plays. They're going to be hard to play against. Stone has one of the best sticks in the game. Crosby is the best, arguably, two-way player for the last 20 years. And Marner, call it what it is, this guy, you know, he makes great plays in his own zone. It's hard to get the puck by him. He gets it off the wall. I just think that line's going to be great. And back to your point about the D-Obes, Theodore is a guy that got hurt last year in that Four Nations. We missed him. So what, if Doughty comes out because maybe the game's just a little too fast, and what we're not thinking about here is all the games that they're going to play such in quick days. Like it's a lot of hockey. Yeah. There's a lot of hockey out there. Now, if Doughty's a guy that's maybe a step behind just because of his age, fucking God bless him. He's been in, this is his third Olympics. You're going to see them play a big style of defense. Taves and McCarr should be out there for 25 minutes,
They're going to,
a night. Morrissey is unbelievable. And him playing with shutdown Colton Parayko, the big, big beast,
and I'm
Northern Alberta.
I'm trying not to be like a complete homer. Like Josh Morrissey, love the kid, hasn't had a great year. Colton Parayko hasn't had a great year. Now, does that matter?
Their teams are.
Does that matter? Maybe not. They're big parts of their teams.
Big time. Yeah.
Do I think they're going to go there, put on that Maple Leaf up dog and turn the switch? I absolutely do. I'm not worried about Morrissey or Pranko. Am I worried about Theodore and Sanheim? I am. Am I worried about Harley and Doughty? A little bit. I think Dewey with the right minutes could be a good third pair. But I mean, if you're looking at our squad, that is the only real concern. Swishy, and up unless you want to keep going on.
I want to touch on this. I want to throw this out for discussion to you boys. Team Canada roster, even without Point and Cirelli, has 21 Stanley Cups, 16 more than our friend over there in the USA. Does that matter in a tournament like this? Like, does looking around going, fucking Crosby, you got 3, like you look at Stone, you got 1, you look you up and down the lineup, these, we built a winning team here. Does that matter in a tournament like this?
Swishy, you want to hit that first?
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is yes, it does matter.
The U.S. has 5 cups, and we have 16. I mean, that's a room of champions, Schmaltzy.
Yeah, I think experience, especially in times when the level of play gets heated up, also emotions are high, the ability to stay calm and realize you've been in these situations before that's experience. You can't teach experience, you can't sell it, you have to physically go through it. So yeah, I absolutely think that is an advantage for Canada. And that's something the USA is, as our younger players and our captain and Austin Matthews, we haven't won. But what I will say is the Canadian defense, as much as it might concern you guys, when you go to a big game, you could always go back and fall on and say if the third pair is struggling, or even, a 4-5 option struggling. You can rely on Taves and McCarr to give you 30 a night.
Yeah, fucking. No, but what if McCarr, God forbid, gets hurt? Like Theodore got hurt in the first game of the fucking Four Nations last year. If everything goes to plan and there's nobody gets hurt or no nothing, then yes, you lean on Taves and McCarr. But God forbid, Taves has been dinged up. He goes down. I don't know if our depth is as good as it could be. I don't know.
I mean, I would, Parayko's had a tough year, but in 2019 when the Blues won, Bouwmeester-Parayko was arguably their best pairing. And he can shut down a side easily with that stick, his range, the way he skates. I wouldn't be too worried there. He's a guy that's won before, especially with Binnington as his backstopper. That gives him confidence and just a sense of calmness. I think he'd be fine there. And Morrissey, yeah, he's struggling a little bit, but man, that kid, he's tough as nails too. He's sneaky tough the way he goes back for pucks, fearless, gets in and out of situations.
Fucking honorary Canadian here. Yeah, fucking right. So listen, I'm not that worried. I've already bet.
You got your OVO jacket?
I've already bet Team Canada. I'm just sitting here trying not to be like, listen, we're going to steamroll everyone here. Because in my heart, I feel like we are going to steamroll everyone. But when I do put my hockey ex-player hat on a little bit, and that is just, if you were going to highlight our squad, you'd be like, Travis Sanheim, like, come on. You know, Theodore, he's not having a great year. I watch him turn on puck over all the time. Like, to me, that would just be kind of the little, you know, you look at our forward group, you look at our centers, you know, obviously I would have McDavid, MacKinnon, Crosby, Bennett. That is better than Team USA, in my opinion, by a lot.
Yeah, and where I would argue there, if we're going to go over to Team USA, is I like our defense better and I like our goaltender.
Yeah. Let me just, before I go to you, Team USA, just to Uppy's question about having all those cups and the boys swinging their wrenches around the room. Yeah, I think it matters for sure. I think it really matters if shit hits the fan. Like if something's going bad in a quarterfinal game or a semifinal game,
You're right.
you know, you look at Sid and he's just sitting there calm and he's been there and he said, boys. So I think it's a huge benefit. And if we do kind of get caught in one, you know, down 2 going in the third or somehow, I think that's when you'll see that championship DNA Coop really lean on it. So, for boys back home, listen, I already bet us. I got us. I'm just, you know, I'm trying not to be a complete homer here, but fuck, we got this, boys. Coop and the boys got this. But Swishy, good Wisconsin American-born player, fella. Talk to me about Team USA. Sorry I cut you off there. You start with a D. I would agree with you that your back end is probably got more depth than ours.
Yeah, I mean, I love our right side. I love McAvoy. I love Faber. I love even, you know, we slide over to the left with Quinn Hughes. You know, this wasn't an option at the Four Nations. Now we got Quinn Hughes in the mix, going back for pucks. Twinkle towing his way around the sheet. Obviously, Slavin is a one-man stopping show, a wrecking show at just the way he closes on guys, the way he angles guys, especially dictates traffic in the neutral zone, now into the defensive zone. He's an incredible option. And then you got Jake Sanderson, Zach Werenski. I mean, Zach Werenski, you could argue that he might be at this point leading for a Norris Trophy candidate is a top job. I mean,
if you said today he would win the Norris.
Right. So, you got to factor in a guy like that, too. And, we'll see what they do in terms of their pairings. I think they'll probably stick to something similar to what they did at the Four Nations. And then, say what you want about the Fours, probably not the same level, especially down the cock as Canada. But look at our goalies. Now, I would start Jake Ottinger. I like Jake Ottinger's game. I like how calm he is. Connor Hellebuyck, now it seems when the moment gets a little bit bigger, he gets a little shaky. That's, no disrespect to a Vezina winner. But for me, my number one guy, if you have to give the torch, I guess, to the first guy, Hellebuyck, but I would be quick to maybe go to Ottinger there because I just love how calm that kid is, and I think he's ready for the big stage and to be our leader back there between the pipes.
Yeah, that's well said. Your boy Sully, though, has already kind of tipped his hat. Hellebuyck had his own net in practice, I guess. I'm with you, though. I've loved the way Ottinger played. I love the way Slayman's been playing this year for Boston, too. I mean, it's a good problem for you boys to have. But we're just looking at this lineup. I mean, what a squad. I mean, I love that line of the Chucky boys and Ikes. I mean, that could end up being maybe one of my favorite lines in the tournament. I mean, Gunsel with Matthews and Boldy. Boldy, I absolutely love. Your third line of Larkin, Connor, and Tage Thompson. I mean,
yeah, they're a workhorse team.
Fuck,
they're going to be big. That the third line alone with Tage Thompson is what they didn't have at the Four Nations. Tomer's just a beast out there,
yeah,
and he loves this stage.
This is not going to surprise you guys. I've Sully and Torts and the boys won, in my opinion. I would
Jack
move
Hughes up there.
I would move JT Miller up with Larkin and Thompson and be my third line, and I'd move Kyle Connor down. Or I may throw Jack Hughes up there on the left side with Matthews and Boldy. Although Gunsel's a machine, He's just a scoring machine, Swishy.
Oh, I mean, he's the low-maintenance girlfriend. You don't got to talk to her. You don't got to hang out with her.
Wish I had one of those.
She's just going to go score. She's going to talk.
And boys, we're so quick to forget, though, Jack Hughes, and I love the kid. He was a little out of his league at the Four Nations, and he's battled his hand injuries, coming back. He'll be a guy, if he shows he's going in the first couple games, he'll be bumped up immediately. But right now, the performance at the Four Nations and just the team they have, he's unfortunately, slotted in at the fourth line right now.
So Kells and Troche are out as of now.
And Kells will be tipping at the door too, by the way.
I'll tell you what,
he's playing good.
Yeah, that's a good squad there, Team USA. Who we play for, Rammer? Who we playing, Rammer?
Sweden, Rammer. You forget that Brock Nelson, too, the pride of Warroad, Minnesota, has 29 tucks this year, too. And he's going to be a great option on the PK. He's one of the best penalty killers in the league. You can't forget that.
He's been unbelievable this year in Colorado. When they re-signed him and gave him the 7 or 8 years, I was like, ah. But as we know, he went there halfway through the year. But you're right. And you mentioned it, we forgot about this. No Quinn Hughes at the Four Nations. I mean, Quinn Hughes being on your team is a complete game changer. Like, if you would have taken Makar, although he didn't play against USA in the round robin game because he was hurt or sick or something, but you take Makar off of Team Canada, like I'm saying Quinn Hughes is that valuable for Team USA. It's a nice asset for you boys to have. It's going to be, it could be a difference in such a close tournament, Swishy.
Yeah, if you look at, now this is going into a little bit of the nerd statistics that I don't love, but this Mike Kelly guy always tweets out these random things. And the one that he had was very interesting to me, was the amount of time a puck spends on a player's stick per game. And Quinn Hughes is the leader in the league for that OB. It's actually, he's way higher than a guy like Cale Makar. So for a guy that dictates the play and a guy that really is a true facilitator, and the puck and the game runs through his stick, and that's Quinn Hughes, and he can dictate it, whether it's a faster or slower paced game. I just think that's a huge option for us, and he's like a true point guard out there.
Shout out to my buddy Bob, good Minnesota lad. Speaking of the pool bar at the Bay Club there on Sunday, he told me that stat. I guess Quinn Hughes has 5 minutes a game, and the next closest guy is like 4 minutes. Like Quinn Hughes, every 60-minute match, he has the puck on a stick for 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I said earlier when talking about MacKinnon that, that stat of goals, even strength goals is up there. Let's just forget that. The stat that you keep the puck on your stick the most means the game goes through you, Schmaltzy. It does. It means that you're the one going back for pucks. Everyone looks for you on the ice. You have to play with your head up the whole time. It's a stat that actually, I remember John Stevens back in the day in Philly talking to me and saying, just look at Mike Richards and how much he has the puck on his stick. Like Richie, the whole game, Richie, from a face-off to coming back, being low and slow for good guys like you on the D, it's a stat that should never go unnoticed. It's a skill set, fella. On to Swedes?
No, let's get down to the nitty-gritty here before we move on here. I'm betting you a ball of Camus.
Yeah, fucking right.
I'm betting you straight up ball of Camus. Is it who finishes? No, one of them's got to win the gold. It's not just if Canada wins the gold, you owe me a ball of Camus, vice versa. And then if they play head-to-head in the gold medal game, maybe we'll spice it up a bit. But we're going National League ball of Camus, maybe from like a 2012 or something. Like let's been sitting around for a bit.
Let's let it air out a little bit. Yeah. I need a refill from last year's Four Nations. We would only bet that first game, so I need a refill. And then if they meet before the gold medal game, that's a side bet that we can re-roll. So
side piece, yeah, that's a side piece. Boys, continuing on here, a men's Olympic hockey breakdown. Team Sweden, listen, at a value bet at plus 750 to win the gold medal. If any of you boys were out there, wanted to tickle it, I do think Sweden at plus 750. I mean, you look at this team, obviously my boy Landeskog's the captain. Are they a little soft? Yeah, they're the Swedes. They're a little soft. Pettersson, I don't know why he's on the team, but I guess they got to take somebody. But when I look at this team of skill with Forsberg and Kempe and Nylander, are they a little thin down the middle? Probably. I like their back end. Scroll down there, please, boys, to the back end. Look at that back end. I mean, that's as good as it gets there, too. And they got great goaltending. I just wouldn't sleep on the Swedes. And at a value bet, I would tickle that. And then last but not least for me, boys, can I get Team Germany up there? Please, Ice and KC. Germany to medal is 10-1, boys. With Leon Draisaitl and Timmy Stützle down the pipe, I get it. The rest of the team, it gets very, very thin. However, the German league is a good league. They can play hard. They got big boys. And on the back end, they got Mo Seider, who, Swishy, you talk about a guy who's going to have to play probably 30 minutes a night. Mo Seider is a guy that's going to have to play 30 minutes for a night for Team Germany. Grubauer between the pipes. I think at 10-1, boys, I think they could find a way to maybe squeak out a bronze. I'm going to lay a little bit on that with just Draisaitl and Timmy Stützle. That's how good I think Leon Draisaitl is. I think he can maybe keep this team competitive enough. It's a long shot, but I'm going to tickle it 10-1.
You have to take in to consideration the fact that these teams over there, these pesky countries like this, they play together all the time. These guys are over there. They take their breaks from the European leagues they're in. They all get together. They're all hanging out. They practice. They play. Schmaltzy, this is something that the U.S. and Team Canada does not do. So put it what it is. The dream team, fuck, they should kick everyone's ass. When you go in and play a team that has fought together, played together, either won or lost together, that's a big, big, fucking exclamation point.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, they got a great logo too, nonetheless, on those jerseys. I've always loved their tarps. I mean, if you're looking at their second line too, I mean, you got JJ Peterka, Stützle in there. The first line, Reichel with Cahoon, depending on what they'll go with in terms of their line combinations. But then on the third line, you got Freddie Sniffles, Tiffles, and a couple other guys that are not bad. I mean, I know some of these names just playing over there in the German league and whatnot. So pesky team. I think they'll be right up there with Czech or some of those other teams that could slide in for maybe a bronze. But we'll see. The Finns, don't count them out either, boys. I mean, those guys, as KC knows, they sauna hard, they booze hard, they play hard. So watch out for the Finns too.
I just think they're going to miss Barkov too much. I mean, obviously they got way more depth than Team Germany, and they all know how to play the right way. One thing about the Germans too, and this is at 10-1, boys. Swishy, they will play a certain way and sit back and try to slow it down, and their pride doesn't take over. They play that way in World Juniors. They play that way in World Championships. They may be able to clog it up and slow it down enough that once they get on the power play with Draisaitl and Stützle, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of pulling for the Germans. I love Leon Draisaitl's game that much. The Finns, last one, boys. Can you pull up Team Switzerland? I was watching some highlights of them practice the other day there. It was, this is a pretty solid squad too. Fiala, Hischer, Niederreiter, Timo Meyer,
Pius Suter. He's
you
good.
Talk about like the chemistry that they have.
Yeah, I know.
And the rest of the guys that we don't know, they all play in the Swiss league, which is arguably the best league over there.
Shout out to my boy Michael Fora, who I played with in Ombry. Good D-man, big righty. He'll be good out there.
And Swishy, you talk about a defenseman that if you have to play 30 minutes a night, they have Roman Josi. That if you're just like, listen, you're out here, you're playing half the game. We're shortening the D, which you can do in a short tournament. Listen, I've been the D that they said, hey, sit here and be the grocery stick. You can do that. You can say, hey, we're rolling 4, we're playing 5, and Roman Josi can play 30 night in the NHL. He can do it in a short 2-week tournament.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's another team that's going to be pesky. They're high flying. Swiss team, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at just kind of teams that would medal, Germany would be sweet to see get it. I mean, if they got a bronze medal like that country would go on a bender for probably a year, to be honest. But if I'm looking for me, what is Finland at to get a medal? What are they like, plus 400, 500? They're probably not as good as odds as you would
stand by.
Yeah, I would say probably 500 maybe.
Swishy, Finns plus 130 to medal, fella. So they are, wow. Finns.
That's like even money. So they expect the Finns to be fucking feisty.
They always are. Listen, if they had Barkov, I would be singing a different tune on him. That's how important of a piece I think he is, that whole squad. So, boys, I can't wait. It starts Thursday out here. Team Canada, Czech. We haven't talked about the Czechs. Pasternak, Nacius, Dolstall's kicking. Watch out for those stinky fuckers, too. I'm just happy that all the best players, besides Russia, obviously, which sucks. I wish they were in it, but the Four Nations was a little sample of it, and now we're going to get everyone representing their country. I'm sure the boys are going to come out jumping. Canada, Thursday morning, 7:40 Pacific Standard Time, coffee and Bailey's. I got my Team Canada t-shirt ready to rock. Let's go, boys. Get it, boys. Moving on here at Missin Curfew is milk carton time at Missin Curfew. Once again, fellas, this is around the first half of the season, first 3 quarters of the seasons. I got a couple teams I'm going to throw on the milk carton here. Toronto Maple Leafs I already have. I'm going to do it again just because I did not think they'd be, 5 points out of a playoff spot, 6 points out of a playoff spot. They had a great finish to the break, going 3-1 out west to keep them in the fight. But Toronto Maple Leafs, you were on the milk carton. The New York Rangers, I'm firing you on there also. I had higher expectations with JT Miller coming in there. You have one of the best goalies on the planet. To me, it's just to be dead last right now in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they're not just last up, dog. They are fucking dead last. They are 8 points behind the Devils.
They done.
So the Rangers, you're on the milk carton. And then out west here, my boy Weegsy, baby. I got to do it to your Calgary Flames. I picked you boys to make the playoffs. I love Nazem Kadri. I love Hubie. I love Weegsy. Connor Zary, I think, is a good player. They got off to a tough start, up dog, and they just haven't been able to bounce back. But unfortunately, here at Missin Curfew, that doesn't matter. You boys are on the milk carton because I bet on them to make the playoffs up.
Yeah, there's still some stinky teams going in. They needed this break more than anybody.
They may not come back from the break.
Yeah, I know.
They may not come back.
Nah, they want their paychecks. They're coming.
Yeah, once they see how much their Amex bill has been in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
they'll be like, gotta get back and get that. You throwing anyone on the milk cart?
I got to get back to work. No.
Okay.
No.
Last but not least here, I only thought it was fitting. It is our Jäger Iciest shot of the night or of the first half, presented by Jäegermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jäegermeister, damn, that's cold. For more information, visit Jägermeister.com. And fellas, always drink responsibly. Up dog, I thought it was fitting. Hold on, KC, before you roll it. The best player on the planet, who absolutely turned it on after about 2 months into the season, Connor McDavid. Roll it here, boys. This is our Jäger Iciest shot of the first half. I mean, I forgot about this goal. How are you, fat kid? Damn, that's cold. The poor defenseman. That was a young kid, Matt Tkachuk or whatever. Don't worry, kid. Keep your head up. I mean, up dog. Let's see this at the Olympics. But this goal, shout out to Princey again in Medicine Hat, pulled it up. I forgot about that one. I mean, that is elite, and not a lot of guys can do that.
This is why you never count the Edmonton Oilers out, because in this case, down 3-1, going into the third, first shift, how are you? They undress them, they get back 3-2, and they end up winning this game. The best part about this was the camera angle. A camera angle from behind the net, seeing the puck just absolutely saucer off the backhand of his twig to go far side shelf. So, boys, this absolutely deserves the iciest shot of the first half, we'll call it. But,
yeah.
buddy, it's nonstop. I just can't wait to see this in a Canadian jersey, in a men's, maybe black Olympic jersey. We're in for a treat. So, well done.
Damn, that's cold. We just let it run. I'm going to watch it one more time. Look at him here. I'll take that. Cuts across the middle, back gap by the D. But if you got McDavid, and it's sniper.
I know.
Sniper
it's like
got
street
him.
hockey, man.
Sniper got him. Last but not least, before we wrap here, Oilers fans have been coming at me. They've been coming at me over, I put the Oilers on the milk carton I wasn't sure if Calvin Pickard had been sent down yet. He got his break. He's going to Bakersfield after.
Good, yeah.
To all the Oilers fans up there, listen, I know it's cold and your team's not playing great and you're freezing your balls off. Calm down. Calm down. Have a beer. Stay inside. I just said Calvin Pickard deserves his fucking break, but there are some people coming at me. So good on the Oilers.
Yep.
Way to recognize that. He deserves it. Updog, always fun. Thank you to 17th
Sunset Studios
Podcast Studios. Nice setup. Thank you to Kyle, Casey Conway, Max the Ice Pickup. That was Missin Curfew.
fellas.